Glad to have you join us on Housing TV News at the top of the hour. I am Mimuna Bagudu. Quickly, let's take a look at the headlines. Tinubu meets King Charles III at Buckingham Palace. Federal government signs 8 deals with UK to receive 589 billion naira. Ondo government allocates 100 hectares for 1,000 units. Federal government spends 171 million naira on collapsed Alao Dam in Borno. Ekiti State pays 71.48 million naira in compensation for road construction. On the foreign scene, Trump rules out another presidential debate against Harris. Now the news in detail. President Bola Tinubu held a significant meeting with King Charles III at Buckingham Palace on Wednesday, September the 12th, as part of efforts to reinforce diplomatic relations between Nigeria and the United Kingdom. According to a statement from Dada Olusegun, Special Assistant to the President on social media, Tinubu's visit emphasized Nigeria's commitment to strengthening its partnership with the UK. Tinubu's meeting with the British monarch underscores his administration's diplomatic focus on building strong international alliance to benefit Nigerians' growth and development. Now, according to the report, Nigeria recorded another trade surplus in the second quarter of 2024, hitting 6.95 trillion naira. The current surplus is 6.60% higher than the 6.52 trillion naira surplus recorded in the first quarter. Just days after the country recorded almost 100% oversubscription of its first $500 million domestic bond and half-year revenue of 9.1 trillion naira, the latest report underscores the increasing positive shifts in the economy over the last year. President Tinubu expresses confidence in the reforms his administration is pursuing and believes they will create a more robust economy that will usher in a new era of prosperity for Nigerians. The NBS report reflects the country's strong export performance in the second quarter. Nigeria stands to receive about 589 billion naira from 8 partnership agreements it signed with the United Kingdom on Thursday in Abuja. The program implementation agreements signed by the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Senator Abubakar Bagudu, and the UK Charge d'Affaires, Ms. Cynthia Rowe, commit both countries to collaboration in critical sectors including governance, climate change, education, health, and the economy. Speaking during the signing ceremony at the ministry's headquarters in Abuja, the minister expressed appreciation for the UK's government support, saying it was a significant show of friendship. He said the timing of the implementation agreement was significant given the downward trend of world economies. The Ondo state government has allocated 100 hectares of land to the Federal Housing Authority for a major housing project. The initiative aims to deliver 1,000 new homes across Akure, Ikare, Ore, and Ugbo in collaboration with the federal government, according to the Commissioner for Lands and Housing, Mr. Akinwumi Sowore. Speaking at a press briefing in Akure, Sowore provided updates on key projects in the state. He revealed that the new Governor's Lodge, initiated by the late Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, is nearing completion, standing at 90%. Renovation works on the Deputy Governor's Lodge and the Presidential Lodge are also progressing, with the latter fully completed. The federal government has spent 171 million naira on the rehabilitation of the collapsed Alao Dam in Borno State. According to reports, these payments were made between June 2023 and July 2024, with the final tranche of 26 million naira disbursed just 6 weeks before the dam's failure. The collapse of the dam has led to widespread flooding and displacement in the state, sparking concerns over the effectiveness of the rehabilitation efforts. Despite receiving 762 million naira in budgetary allocations over the past 12 years, the dam has remained in poor condition. Now to Ekiti State. The Ekiti State government has disbursed 71.48 million naira as compensation to farmers and other project-affected persons impacted by 12 of the 13 road projects awarded in July. This was revealed by the project coordinator from the Ekiti State Rural Access and Agricultural Marketing Project, Mr. Sunday Adumo, during a press briefing in Ado-Ekiti. Adumo stated that a total of 217 farmers and PAPs have received compensation, ensuring they are fairly treated before the commencement of road construction. He also highlighted the government's ongoing efforts, including the construction of a new mosque in Afulu, which will replace the old structures set to be demolished to make way for safer road access. He emphasized that compensation is a vital part of the project, ensuring that all affected individuals are duly compensated before the start of civil works in line with project guidelines. Now, more stories after the break.
Visit Housing TV Africa on YouTube and click on the subscribe button. Subscribe to Housing TV Africa to stay updated on latest happenings in Nigeria's housing sector. Follow our social media pages, like and share our posts. On Facebook, Housing TV Africa. On Twitter, Housing TV Africa. Instagram, Housing TV Africa. Join the conversation and keep up with latest housing updates.
Glad to know you're still there. Welcome back. Now, the leadership of the Labour Party National Transition Committee has disowned the embattled immediate past national chairman of the party, Barrister Julius Abure, as the national chairman of the party. This disclaimer was read out by the Secretary of the Board of Trustees of the party, Alhaji Salisu Mohammed, at a press briefing in Abuja recently. The decision was reached at the Umahia stakeholder meeting by the Ninadi Usman-led caretaker committee, which was lawful and legitimate. Salisu Mohammed says the NTC engaged and mobilized all relevant stakeholders to ensure that the party recovers itself from what it described as Abure's illegality and corruption, which he has been perpetrating since his assumption of office as the national chairman of the party. Following the sudden death of the party's national chairman on a position he has fraudulently held without elections till 9th of June this year.
The NEC, organized by the governor of Abia State, is the most welcome intervention needed to save the Labour Party at this time from the illegalities and corruptions of the Abure hostile capture. This intervention is in line with the expression of the democratic will of the millions of Nigerians who are members of the Labour Party and its supporters, and who do not want the party to die at the hands of political contractors. How Abure jumped from acting secretary to national chairman without election and without valid NEC appointment remains a study in Gestapo criminality.
On whether the rancor within the party will not affect its chances in the 24th September governorship election in Edo State, the party leaders responded positively, stating that the party is stronger now without the likes of Barrister Abure.
Our party right now is a frontline, party in terms of all the indicators, that are coming out, from the campaign. We are far ahead of all the parties that are running in the gubernatorial election in Edo State. And our chances are the brightest. We are very, very optimistic of winning the election. All we are interested is to make sure that it is free, fair, and credible.
Edo State is our territory. It is a place that the voters belong to Labour Party. And as God will have it, we have managed to present the best governorship candidate in Edo State. Barrister Olumide Akpata is head and shoulder above all the candidates that are contesting election in Edo State. Those who know, those who hail from Edo State, will tell you that PDP has mismanaged Edo State for the last 8 years, and before them, APC. Now, there are no passable roads in Edo State. There's no infrastructure of note there.
The party leaders advised Abure and his cohort to be wise and come back to the fold and show gratitude to the party that tolerated its illegal regime despite their illegal hijack of power. The Federal Ministry of Innovation, Science and Technology has expressed interest in partnering with Ciprani Limited for the development of a 3D printed smart city to improve infrastructure across Nigeria. The proposal was discussed during a technical presentation of the ministry's headquarters in Abuja, where Minister Uche Nnanji praised the initiative and announced plans to form a committee to oversee its progress. The MD and CEO of Siprani Limited, Segun Makon, highlighted the potential of establishing a 3D house printing technology factory in Nigeria to address the country's building challenges. Siprani aims to use locally manufactured materials for this project, hoping to reduce Nigerians' housing deficit while creating job opportunities for the youth. Now, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, met with Vice President Kashim Shettima at the Presidential Villa in Abuja to discuss the devastating flooding in Maiduguri, Borno State. The meeting aimed to commiserate with the Vice President, who hails from Borno State, and brainstorm immediate intervention measures. President Bola Tinubu had earlier ordered the deployment of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to assist flood victims, describing the flood as the worst in recent decades. The disaster has displaced 1 million people and affected critical facilities like the State Specialist Hospital and University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital. After the meeting, Abbas stated that strategies have been designed and solutions have been put in place in order to bring succor to the victims. President Bola Tinubu expresses deep sadness over the transition of Oba Gabriel Adekunle Aromolaran II, the Owa Obokun of Ijesha land. Oba Aromolaran, the highly revered first-class monarch, died at 86. While on the throne, he also served as chairman of the Osun State Council of Traditional Rulers. As a traditional ruler, Oba Aromolaran kept his palace above the fray of partisan politics. He was open to all political tendencies. On behalf of the federal government, President Tinubu extends heartfelt condolences to the government and people of Osun State, the good people of Ijesha land, and the family of the late traditional ruler. The president affirms that the departed monarch firmly believed in the values of Yoruba culture and African tradition. His respect for these values and systems defined his remarkable 42-year reign to the throne of his ancestors. Now to the foreign scene. Former U.S. President Donald Trump on Thursday said he would not take part in another debate with Kamala Harris as the White House rivals headed back to battleground states that are set to decide a nail-biting close U.S. presidential election. The Republican former president lashed out 2 days after his first televised clash with the Democratic vice president, when Harris put Trump on the defensive and got under his skin with a series of jabs. There will be no third debate, the 78-year-old wrote on his Truth Social platform, including in his tally the earlier debate with Joe Biden in June that drove the incumbent out of the race, and his Tuesday showdown with Harris. The Palestine ambassador to Nigeria, Abdullah Shawesh, has accused Israel of destroying education in Palestine by attacking school buildings and killing the children in order to steal the progress made so far in Palestine. According to Shawesh, the Palestine people are one of the most educated people in the Middle East, with over 98% of the people educated, which is why the Israelis are targeting the educational infrastructure of the Palestine people.
Yes, the education sector is completely affected or negatively affected in Palestine, but we have no other choice except to stand up again as Palestinian and to run and to move towards our future. We will gain this issue. We will find a way how to go over this tragic when it came to the education issue.
Shawesh also accused the United States for breaking international laws by practicing and establishing the war of the jungle.
Countries that proclaim themselves as the greatest defender of human rights, countries that have been annoying us day and night with the lecture about the human rights violation and international law, are now bluntly disregarding international law and trampling the human rights principle in a brazen manner. America and Israel are essentially practicing the law of the jungle in broad daylight.
He says the Israeli government has announced a starvation campaign in Gaza. Now lastly, on Housing TV news at the top of the hour is sports. Players from El Kanemi Warriors, a team in the Nigerian Premier Football League, expressing their distress over the severe flooding in Maiduguri, Borno State. The flood has resulted in around 30 deaths and replaced hundreds of thousands. According to reports, several players living in the affected areas are among those impacted by the disaster. As a result, the club's operations have been disrupted, leading to the postponement of their NPFL match against Kwara United. Goalkeeper George Abine revealed that their base near Lagos Street and the NUJ Press Center remains intact. The team is unable to use the Maiduguri Stadium for training sessions due to the flood. And that's the much we can take on Housing TV news at the top of the hour. Before we go, here is a recap of our top stories. Tinubu meets King Charles III at Buckingham Palace. Federal government signs 8 deals with UK to receive 589 billion naira. Federal government spends 171 million naira on collapsed Alau Dam in Borno. Ekiti State pays 71.48 million naira in compensation for road construction. On the foreign scene, Trump rules out another presidential debate against Harris. For more news in the housing sector, subscribe to Housing TV Africa on YouTube and follow Housing TV Africa on all social media platforms. You can also download the mobile app Housing TV Africa on Google Play Store and Apple Store to stay connected and get all the latest trends in the housing sector. I am Yumina Bagudu. Thanks for watching and bye for now.